So I'm shivving, I've got a level, I'm checking everything, and that looks pretty good, so I'm going to tack my shims in place. And we're shimming, and everything looks pretty good and level, so I'm going to tack my thing in place. And then finally, so what
how
do
they do it in Boston?
What's that? This is how we do it in Boston. I mean, we think we're good. So I would take a level. I might use a laser, like a line laser, to establish a line that I can read as I go across, but it's important to get the header level because everything that you're going to be installing is from the header down. If the floor is out of level, we don't pay attention to that until we need to deal with it. The floor can be out of level because it will be, but you need to make sure you start and install something level. So if you want to bring that over.
Yeah, I'll bring it here. Take this drill.
So I'm going to go ahead, and I've got a couple of framing screws in here. You're good and flush? Yep. Install one side and the other, and a third set of screws can be installed in the center, but Casey, as an experienced installer, set his pipes and the leveling so that they carry a structural load underneath the center, and that with the LVL, this is really all you need. I'd probably put a third screw in if I were truly installing.
Yeah, for demonstration purposes, this is a lighter door, a heavier door. I would add more screws.
So once you do that, you're going to come in and you're going to bring the level down.
Yeah, it's making sure to check for
level,
everything
check
being
square,
co-planar.
good. And then
take those.
Yep.
So the easiest thing is the piece of poplar. You want to point that forward towards the door opening because that's what your split jams get nailed to. And it's just as easy as sliding these in. Go up.
Got them?
Yep.
So I've got snap lines on the floor representing my plane of wall. So I'm going to set those to plane, and then we're going to plumb these up. We're going to get them in position. So I've got it on the line, and I'm going to plumb this up, and then that gets fastened. And the screws.
Yeah, this is an important part. Is just to make sure.
Bit. It's the bit. I need a T20.
T20. Luckily, I still have it. This is a very important part too, because when you're putting these pieces in, you want to make sure they're in the right spot. And when we put this other side on, that he's already had these brackets at the top, and they're nice and square off of each other. But this has obviously a lot of play at the bottom. So you want to make sure you're on your lines and that you're also square, so that when it comes to installing your split jam, you can just nail it right to the wood. You don't have, I've run into situations where you're having to like shim it out. He sets it up, and one of the nice customizable things is like, hey Mike, I just called him for a job a couple weeks ago. I've got casing, or I've got jams that are 1 3/8, and he does all the math and he sets it up so I can nail my 1 3/8 jam right to the poplar.
You're remarkably tall when I'm on the floor.
Yes.
Okay, want to get the next set in?
Yep.
I'll still work from behind it. So we're going to set the next set of brackets in. We're already halfway there. Tell me when to
Are
come
you
in.
want to head up?
Right there. And I will say this, we've got 2 guys working on this right now because we're partners on the same stage. But the first year, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, it was just me. I didn't have anybody on stage with me. So I did this whole demo and installed the door, including the stands, on my own. So this can be a one-person job. We just like to work together. So I'm gonna fasten this next bracket in.
Yep, and then the next step, after he's got that, is installing this T-guide. And depending on the type of track that you select, they come with different guides themselves, but honestly, I never use those. I'm a big fan of the T-guides because I can cut a slot in the bottom of my door, and I don't have to, it's just a lot more robust. Some of those grooves, like I had to cut like a 3/8 of an inch groove down my door to fit some of these other brands. This is nice. It's 1/8 inch thick, so a bit that he sells on his website is 3/16, and that is really nice. You don't want to be super tight to have some flexibility when you're opening the door. But we're going to be installing this, and what I did, and Mike has shown before, is making a little scrap block like this. That is the exact dimension between these split studs here. And I cut a groove about 1/8 of an inch thick right in the center. And what that allows, what Aaron will show, you want to make sure that guide is nice and straight and centered. If it's a little bit crooked, you're going to feel that when you're operating your door. So with this guide, it just allows, here's 2 more. It's set up so that it works really well to get it exactly centered where you want it.
I think Casey and I, as a tendency, when it comes to things like centering or referencing, tend to like to make our own thing.
Yeah.
To do the centering or the referencing, because we trust our own math more than we trust something coming out of a box, like a stop or whatnot. So
Yep.
I would do the same thing. Create a little block, use it on all of the doors that are going into the house, and then it ends up getting remade on the next job. So I've got that fastened down. Take this.
Yep, and everyone's a little bit different on how you trim your pocket doors, but in each of his kits, he'll send you an instructions based on the thickness of your split jamb, where to put this T-guide, like the depth in and out in your pocket. Sometimes I like to add a little block on the backside of my door because I try to bury that T-guide so it's just as invisible as you can. But now we're pretty much set up to start installing the door.
Well, let's do it.
Should we?
Is this all coming across pretty clear?
Yes.
Good. Okay, let's put the door in, and you can close it.
Oh, I can close it this time?
Which begs the question, with a pocket door, is it open right now or is it closed?
See, I say this is closed.
This is
That's a
definitely
question.
closed.
It's definitely closed?
It's definitely closed.
Dude, what do you want me to think here?
Yeah,
Because I
just
can't
make
see
sure.
anything. I'm just going to keep
Yep.
it falling over.
So this door is light, so it doesn't take too much. Oh, you're good right there. I might actually cheat this just a little bit. Here, let me do this. Okay. Okay, lift this left side up a little bit. Right there. There.
So that was just a quick little clip in.
Yep, this is a cavity sliders track, and you can see we've got some brackets up here. It just clicks right in, and
That
you
was
have to
it.
push a tab down in order to get it out.
Did
And
I
you
close
just,
it or I open it?
that was going to be my thing.
I have
Aaron just can't help himself.
Please. Soft close.
So it's soft close and soft open.
So I'm not going to slam it.
Don't slam it.
That's
It's
soft
very,
close.
very smooth. You can see he's got this set up. You put your jam right up here. It's really nice. It finishes out well. I don't know. I have nothing but good things to say about HD Pocket Doors.
Same. This is one of my favorite demos. 3 years now. It's just enjoyable to do. It's great to show something that came to our market recently and completely changed the way we lay out pocket doors. Like completely. We have to be so careful with the framing aspect when we have subcontract framers and all this stuff, and just be able to send our information to Mike and get product that's correct every time. That makes the install this simple and this fast. And granted, I didn't plumb it because I had pre-plumbed it, but it only takes a couple of minutes to get these plumbed up. You've got your line snapped, so you're plumbing this direction, and it's just a quick one. And if you plumb one of them because you're on these brackets, they're both plumbed. It's straightforward.